Good afternoon, guys. This is Neuel. Just bringing you guys another Conquest video here and a little commentary about a few things. Um, I always think that we're going to use this map here on this match on Caspian as an example. Just to let you know real quick, there's no way to see the end of the film in one clip, so I haven't quite figured out exactly what I'm going to do about that just yet. Like I said, I'm new to this and new to commentary, so you're going to have to give me some love for the learning curve and such. Anyway, this is Conquest on Caspian Border, and as you can see, we're the U.S. team. Now, I myself personally am a big believer in the fact that if you control the two bases, if you've got a map with, say, 5 flags on it like this one does, if you control the two bases closest to your deployment, for example, this would be Alpha and Bravo, then you tend to stand a really good chance of winning most Conquest matches. Now, the reason why I say that is because what will happen is if, say, for instance, we didn't have Alpha and Bravo, but we had Charlie, Delta, and Echo. What would happen is now not only are they spawning at their deployment, but they're also spawning behind us. So say, for instance, that we only had Charlie and Delta. Now they can spawn at their deployment, at Echo, or at Alpha and Bravo, and basically you just get pushed into the center. The reason why I was telling this guy to get out was because I was hoping he was going to go get that enemy AA. Imagine having 2 AAs on one team. But for some reason he doesn't get out, and it just kind of turns into a clusterfuck. But, so what I'm trying to say is they'll end up spawning behind you as well as in front of you, so now you're just getting kind of squeezed into a big giant shit sandwich. So one of the things that I do is, see, I start going towards Echo, but then I look and I notice Alpha's beeping. So I'm like, uh-oh, time to go back. Like I said, I spend a lot of time kind of making sure that the bases on the other side of the river are, that we hold on to those bases. So, little MBT stuff here. That's my main battle tank. I run the APS, and I also run reactive armor. I run the Sabo shell because it's really good for, I like it better for dealing with aircraft. Like, I've shot down, I don't even know, countless helicopters and several planes using the Sabo shell. Now, I know the HE and the AP are good shells, and there are people that like them, but personally I'm a Sabo kind of guy, and that's just the way I roll. So I also run the heavy, the 50 cal, the big heavy machine gun mounted coaxially on my tank as well. It's perfect for dealing with infantry. A lot of the times when I tank alone. I don't have a gunner. And even if I do, he's one of those gunners that's running around shooting at, or he's shooting at pandas or butterflies or whatever the hell they shoot at. So half the time, what they're really doing is giving away your position by doing that, and it frankly, annoys the shit out of me. So that's why I run the heavy, is just simply to be able to deal with infantry. So me and this guy go round and round a little bit as far as the tanks are concerned. I do think that it's more of a defensive weapon than an offensive weapon, or at least that's the way that it should be used in this game. Unfortunately, that is not all, everybody who plays Battlefield knows, it's rock, paper, scissors all the time. So the other reason why I went this way instead of through the door was because I was figuring he would expect me to come that way, so I decided to go over here and go through the wall. The other thing I do right here is something that, let's see if I did it here. No, I didn't. But there's times when you'll see me get out of my tank to put down mines. Now that's just something I absolutely hate doing, because there's just, too good of a chance that somebody could shoot you and kill you while you're doing that, and then not only have you died, but you've also, this is a perfect example of the Sabo round. Bingo. Bye-bye, buddy. Not only have you died, but now you've also, I lose this tank battle horribly. He pushes me. Not only have you lost your life and a ticket for your team, but you've also now surrendered your vehicle over to the other side. So that's why I'm a diehard. I stay I stay with the burning ship. You know, it's I don't, if the tank's going down, I'm going down with it. So you can see here we've got Alpha. We're fighting over Bravo, so I kind of decided to run over there, I think, and give this guy a little bit of a hand in making sure that we can secure Bravo. If you can keep Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie on this map, you'll win every single time. It may take a little bit longer, but you will win. I'm not a big fan of going out and trying to capture every single base. I think it's a bad idea. I think that what happens is you get your front line gets a little too. It just gets you get spread out too thin is what happens, and then what happens is the enemy just comes pouring through. And then, like I said, I talked about, what will happen is you'll get them spawning in front of you and behind you, which is bad news. You definitely don't want that. So the key to Conquest for me is don't be greedy. I can't believe this guy killed me. Don't be greedy, and just take what's the majority. What you need is 3/4 or slightly over half of whatever is available. So if there's 5 flags, you want 3. If there's 4 flags, you want 2 or 3, preferably. I usually let the enemy have one of their flags, just because it gives them a place to spawn, first of all, and it kind of feels like it's more of a fair fight, where things can kind of go back and forth, and there's that push and pull and tug and pull action. Let's see. Oh yeah, this guy, me and this tank, we just went round and round. But see, here I am back at Alpha because this is an important base for us to own. It's the one closest to our deployment, and also a main battle tank spawns here when you capture the point. So the last thing you want is the enemy having the base closest to your deployment and a tank that should be used for your team. To be one of your assets. So yeah, these guys come over and repair me, which is pretty nice considering I'm at 100. But I didn't notice until just now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Conquest is basically in a game of attrition. See, and the other thing too is I think if I remember right, I go over here and open. No, I do that later. I actually come back and open that gate up in order to get them to come through, and at the end of the match, because by the time the match is over, the team is pretty much secured a really good chunk. They have almost all the bases. So what I was trying to do was you got to put these mines kind of out here a little bit like this, because what will happen is when they come through the wall, they'll jump in a jeep, but that's right about where they land most of the times. It's mines. I've kind of gone back to the slams. There was a time after the last patch where they kind of nerfed it a little bit, and I stopped using them just because I was getting, vehicle mobility hits on main battle tanks, with three slams. I kind of stopped right here for a second to try to gather my thoughts and figure out what the best objective here, the best place to go here was. And see, we're taking Bravo now back, so we're good to go. And I'm just going to kind of hang back and play more of a defensive, this is as far as you're going type of thing. I am I guess an objective player from certain, standpoints, but I play the objective differently than other people do. There's a school of thought out there that, you push, and you hit him, but it didn't do anything to him. And that you push, and you just throw yourself out there like cannon fodder in order to secure an objective. I don't do that, personally. I think that's silly. I don't think Battlefield is really designed for that type of thing. I think this guy kills me again. But that's just my own personal opinion. I'm more of a defensive type of player, especially when I've got my squad with me or my boys with me, Furley and Revenge and Dark Warrior, and shout out to those guys. But that's just more of my play style. We'll go and for instance, on this map, we would spend the majority of our time guarding Alpha and Bravo. You can see we're losing Alpha. It's bad news. So I just get totally annihilated by this guy. I don't know why I'm carrying that javelin around. That's where RPG would have been useful. But yeah. So anyway, but we're just going to go back to Alpha and go ahead and try and secure that objective. I think I drive over there. No, this is a little flight here which was weird because my teammate, my squad mate, I'm not sure what he was doing. I think he was looking for a free rider. I don't know what the hell that was about. So yeah, this is the F-35. I like flying on Caspian. It's a good map to fly on. Got good visibility. But yeah, so I'm trying to remember what else I wanted to chat with you guys about today. Don't fly over the enemy base like I'm about to do, because it's not a very smart thing to do. There's that cannon again, which is the trick. Boom! I can't believe we didn't kill each other. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get the ending on here. This map, the way PlayStation does it, makes you record and all that kind of stuff. It was quite entertaining. I actually got up into one of those towers, because what happens is we end up taking all of the bases from them, and then what they do is they push to Echo, and then what happens, you'll see they all come rushing over to try to take Charlie, and basically I just get up into the towers by the big wall, light machine gun, and start having a field day with them. And then of course at the end end up killing myself with C4, which I do all the time because I'm horrible with that stuff. But yeah, here taking back Alpha, you can see they've pushed us really hard. We've lost almost all the bases. We have Bravo, and that's it. It's important to come back, secure this base. If it means coming back off the Charlie or Delta flags, then you need to do it. In my opinion, it's just one of the things that needs to be done in order to maintain what would basically be a front line, and you're not going much further than this. This is our territory, belongs to us, we're taking it and we're keeping it. So anytime you get that whole back and forth thing like that, plus with the way Conquest works, with the way the tickets bleed out, is the more bases they have, it doesn't matter, because we've only got 2 right now. If we could sit on those 2, we would lose, because eventually that's just not enough. The bleed will hurt you, and then players getting killed, your tickets run out. That's one of my other big reasons why I don't, why I feel it's necessary to kind of take the ones that are closest to you first and hang on to them, because that kind of diminishes the bleed and makes, I don't know, it almost to me seems like a ticket and a half out of each soldier, as opposed to what would be 1 or maybe even less in some situations. So here we've got Alpha and Bravo. We've got a good firm hold on. We're going to start pushing towards Charlie now, and I believe we end up taking this. The match is not quite over yet, but like I said, I only got 15 minutes worth of footage, because that's the way PlayStation works. It wouldn't let me put the end on. It may do that, or I'm not sure. I don't know how to do that. I might need to talk further about that, so you could actually see the end of this game, where we do win, and win quite convincingly. See, we've got Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, and now you've got guys over there messing around on Echo, which, is fine, but the point is that they're going to push out of that base, and eventually, and then what they're going to do is they're going to push right over to Charlie. So sometimes I feel like it's better to get set up defensively and let them come at you, as opposed to running around like a crazy person with your chicken with your head cut off, dying over and over and over and over again for basically no reason whatsoever. Something to think about. It's just the way that I play the game. I'm no pro gamer. I'm just an average dude trying to have a good time and do well for my team. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Life is good. Cheers.